Dreaming of strolling through the streets of Madrid or relaxing on the beaches of Ibiza and also exploring the art of Barcelona. Before you pack your bags, there's one important step. The Spain visa application form. Applying for a Spain visa can feel very intimidating, especially when it comes to filling out the visa application form correctly. So know that every detail matters. One mistake will delay your travel plans or get your visa application rejected. But don't worry, this complete guide will walk you through the step-by-step guide and everything you know with regards to filling the Spain visa application form, whether it's for tourism, business, or family visit. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back to the channel. It's adeja.com. Over here, what we do is we give you detailed information regarding the travel and tour industry. So if you want to know about the right documentation to secure a successful visa to your travel destinations, whether you are going for pleasure or vacation, studying or working, or probably visiting family members and so on and so forth, then this is the right platform to log on to. So back to the topic for today. Alright, so before we delve into the Spain visa application form, have you ever applied for a Spanish visa? How was the experience like? Or it's your first time that you are planning of applying for a Spain visa? So what is the Spain visa application form? Now, the Spain visa application form is an official document that you must complete when you are applying for a Schengen visa to enter Spain. It collects key details about you, your travel purpose, and your intended stay plan or itinerary, right? So if you are planning to visit Spain for tourism, study, work, or family reunion, this form is the foundation of your visa application. So one may ask, who needs this visa application form, or who needs to fill out this visa application form? So it is mandatory for anyone who is traveling or entering Spain to complete this form, right? Anyone who requires a Schengen visa to enter Spain must fill out this form. So citizens of countries with visa-free access to Schengen area do not need this visa application form so long as they are going to stay for up to 90 days. However, nationals from visa required countries, including most parts of Africa, Asia, and South America, must submit this form before traveling, right? So there are types of Spain Schengen visas. So before filling out the form, it is essential to know which type applies to your travel purpose, right? So whether you are going for tourism or leisure, the tourist visa is the one that you are supposed to apply for. If it's for meetings or events, you need a business visa. If you are going to study, then the student visa is the one that you are supposed to opt for. And if it's family or friend visit, then you must apply for the visit or the family visa. And then there's also the transit visa for those who are traversing through Spain to other destinations, right? So before we can prepare for a visa application, as I said earlier, we need to gather some documents, or there are some required documents that we are supposed to provide, and these include a valid passport, which is valid for 3 months or has a 3 months validity period, a passport size photos, a travel itinerary and accommodation, travel insurance, proof of financial means in a form of bank statement, sponsorship letter, your pay slips, and so on and so forth. Also, you need to pay for a visa fee or visa fee payment proof, right? So these are the mandatory requirements that one has to meet before they can proceed to fill out this form. Okay, so before we can know our status or check for our eligibility, one has to ensure that their country requires a visa to Spain and that you meet all the conditions for the specific visa category that you are applying for, right? So your answers in the form must match the visa type that you are applying for. For example, if you select tourism, your supporting document should reflect on that purpose that you are traveling, right? Okay, so now first of all, let's look at the step-by-step guide on this visa application form. So I'm going to download the visa form from the Spanish embassy's website from our home country, right? That is where we can get this visa application form. Remember, this form or visa application form comes in a PDF format where you can download and you fill it by hand, or there is an online version that you can fill in the information, everything online. Then right after, you generate a printout of the application, right? So let me walk you through the embassy's website so that we can have access to the visa application form. All right, so first of all, what we are going to do is we are going to find out how to get the Spain visa application form from the official source or the official website. So in my country, for instance, we can do the Spain visa application through the BLS, which is like a third party or a visa application center that has been mandated by the Spanish embassy to conduct the visa application processes for on their behalf, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to type Spain visa application form. I did that earlier, so let me click on it, and then let me scroll. Okay, so we could see that there is a website here called ghana.blsspainvisa.com. So it is .ghana.bls because the extension is where I'm applying for is Ghana, right? Because I'm doing the application from Ghana. Hold on, let me connect my laptop. All right, so first of all, what we are going to do is we are going to type Spain visa application form filling, right? Then we hit enter. So right after hitting enter, we are going to scroll through the result. Okay, so once we are here, we are going to see that there's a website called BLS Spain Visa, right? So depending on the country that you are applying or doing the application from, it is going to display the dot extension over here, right? So because my current destination or my current home country is Ghana, that is why it is giving me this result based on my IP or geographical location, right? So I'm going to click on this one, first result here. I click on it and then I'll wait for the website or the page to load. Okay, so once you are here, you could see that apply for visa to Spain in Ghana, right? So as I am here, I'm going to navigate through this website and then see or have an overview of the information that we are supposed to know. So when we scroll and come here, and because our purpose for this one is tourist visa, we have overview. And then it says that this category of visa caters for people wishing to stay in Spain for a period of maximum 3 months and may be applied if the person does not have a guarantor in Spain and buys a tour in a travel agency or make a booking of ticket and hotel, right? Applicant will have to provide evidence that he or she falls under this category. So basically, that is the overview that we are supposed to know before we can do anything. So let's look at the visa fee. Okay, so the visa fee for tourist visa for an adult is, as at today, 10th October, is 1,284. So let's do the conversion in euros and then see convert euro to cedis. Okay, so it says 1284 1284. So basically it's around 90 euros or 91 euros, right? So we are supposed to pay 190 euros, and then children are supposed to pay half of it. So it means that children are supposed to pay something around 45 euros. Okay. And then also it says that the above mentioned fee is to be paid only by cash. Note, exemption of visa fee for a child is applicable only in the case of short-term category if the child's age is less than 6 years at the date of submission, right? So when a child is below the age of 6, he or she is not permitted to pay for a visa fee, right? Okay. So now, BLS International Service Charge. Applicants applying at the Spanish Visa Application Center shall be levied a service charge of 241 Ghana cedis, inclusion of all taxes payable in cash. So please note that the applicable visa fee in Ghana cedis is as per the current exchange rate. It is subject to change without notice, and the fee is not refundable. Okay, so that is information regarding the visa fee. Now let's look at the required document. I just want, though we are focusing on the visa form filling, but I just want things to be very accurate and then vivid. So when we come to the documents that we are supposed to add, it says that please note that with effect from August 4th, 2016, as per instruction received from the Embassy of Spain, checklist needs to be duly filled by the applicant or travel agent or authorized representative and needs to submit it along with the visa application. Please note that it's mandatory to provide the same and is applicable for all Ghana. And then it says that please follow the below mentioned points. The checklist must be submitted on back-to-back format only, without back-to-back copies being stapled to each other. Okay, so now what they are trying to mean is that I have a form here. So let's assume this is my document, right? This is my document. I don't have to since I have informations over here, I don't have to have information at the back of this paper, right, or this sheet. So everything would have to be back to back. There shouldn't be information at the back of it. So everything should be, if it's a continuation of information that you are printing, make sure that they all get printed on a separate sheet, right? So that is what they are trying to mean. Okay, so now let's look at the application form. Application form for Schengen visa, the Spanish version. So the different countries or embassies have their versions, and then this is the Spanish version of it. Now, original application form for Schengen visa duly filled in and signed by the applicant in blue ball point ink. One recent photograph that is 35 to 45 millimeters of the applicant or with white background must be attached to the application form. The application form must be correctly filled, facilitated at all the possible information requested in the form, including postal address, email address, and telephone numbers. And then they are saying that please note that with effect from April 1st, 2013, the Embassy of Spain requires a sworn declaration of consent by parties or legal guardian of minors who are applying for a visa for the purpose of traveling. And then he says that this sworn declaration is mandatory and must be provided with the visa application form and other required documents at the time of submission. Okay. So, aside the visa application form, you have to attach your passport, which is supposed to have at least 3 blank pages. And also, you have to also submit copies of old passport. In case applicant has lost the old passport, then he or she can submit a copy of complaint lodged with police or for any reasons of not submitting it, if he or she can provide a covering letter mentioning the reason for the same. Okay. And then in case of minor below the age of 18, the application form must be signed by both parents, right? And then photocopies of passport of both parents have to be attached. Okay. Now a recent passport photograph with white background will have to be attached. A birth certificate for children traveling with only one parent. Okay, so these are, and then there is also for visiting family or friends, invitation letter issued by Policía Nacional de España, which is the Spain Police National, right? So that is a letter that would have to be, it's like their home affairs that handles immigration and stuff. So you would have to obtain a letter from there and then you attach it with the original copy. And then attested copy of the passport and the DNI or residence card of the person living in Spain. And then if the purpose is for tourism, hotel bookings for the entire duration of stay, travel itinerary for the entire duration of stay would have to be attached. So these are some of the information that we are supposed to know. Now let me come to the download form so we can have the form. Okay, so when you come to the download form, we have the visa application form in English and then we have the one in Spain. So for the sake of this video, me as an English speaking person, I will download the English format. Okay, so now this is what it looks like. So we have the Schengen flag over here, which means that once this visa has been obtained, it can travel through all the Schengen enclaves, right? Over there are 29 countries in Europe. You can travel to them when this visa has been approved. Okay. So over here, you are going to attach a passport size photograph, which is between 35 to 45 millimeters over there. And then they are saying that this form is free, so you don't have to pay for any fee when you are downloading or having access to this form. So first thing over here is, let me increase it a little bit. Okay. Okay. So now on this form, we have first of all, we are going to provide our first name, our surname, which is our family name. Then, um, our given names, our date of birth, country of birth, place of birth over here, current nationality, and then nationality of birth, and then your sex, marital status you specify. Now remember that all these informations that you are providing over here must correspond with the information that you have in your passport, and also all other information that you are going to give. Let's assume that you stated you are single or you are married. It means you would have to attach a marriage certificate. If you are divorced, also a divorce certificate would have to be attached, right? Okay. National identity numbers. So over here we have the Ghana card. So you are going to provide or input the Ghana card information over here. Type of travel document. So you are going to attach an ordinary passport. You select that one. If you have a diplomatic or service passport, you specify. Okay. Number of travel document. So you provide a document number, date on which it was issued, the expiry date, and then the country in which it was being issued. So these are the information that you are going to provide. Yeah, if you have a spouse or relation with an AU or EU member that you are inviting, you provide the person's information, address, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then you come to applicant's home address, telephone number, residence in a country other than the country of the current nationality. If you are living outside your country, you specify. If not, you write. You just select your current occupation. Now remember, if you are a student and you write student there, it means you are going to be needing um, a student introductory letter from the school, right, to be attached. And if you are employed also, you would have to attach an employment or NOC, no objection certificate, to your application. And then also, if you are self-employed, it means you would have to attach your business document and so on and so forth. Okay. So employer and employer's details for student name, blah blah blah. Okay, now over here is very very important. Main purpose of the journey. So if it's tourism, let's select tourism. If it's business, visiting family or blah blah blah, you are going to select it. Okay. Now let's go to additional information on purpose. So if there's something that you need to write, so let's assume it's tourism. So you have to give the reason why you are traveling, right? And the member state of main destination, other countries or that you would be visiting. So if you are to explore some of the Schengen enclaves either than Spain, you can write them over here. You state the member or the first entry. So since you are doing this application to travel to Spain, you are going to write the main member country as Spain and then other countries that you are going to visit over here. Okay. So over here we have number of entries requested. So if you are applying for a single entry, two entry or multiple entries, you are going to specify, right? Now, if you've given your fingerprint details to the Schengen enclave or an embassy handling this a Schengen visa application, you are going to specify. If you have, you know the date, or if you don't, you are going to specify. If you've not also, then you just take no. Now, entry permit for the final country of destination where you are. So since we don't know, we are going to leave it blank. And then it says surname and first name of the inviting person. So if you had an invitation from someone, you are going to write the person's details and so on and so forth. But if it's a hotel, you are going to provide the hotel's name, hotel's address, and their contact because they are going to contact them in case they need any extra information, right? Okay. And then name and address of inviting company or organization for business related travels. If the person has been invited by an organization or company, you are going to write the company's name over here and then say name or address of the company or the one in charge, and then their contact, right? And then over here to the next one is very, very important. Now it says that cost of traveling and living during the applicant's stay is covered by. Now you are going to specify who is sponsoring for this trip. If it's self, you just write self over here, and then what is the means through which the applicant is going to cater for himself. So we have cash, traveler's check, credit card, prepaid accommodation, prepaid transport, other, right? By sponsor. So over here, if it's by the applicant himself, you just take by applicant himself, and then means of by the applicant himself. Okay. Now, if it's sponsor, you write by sponsor, and then you specify the sponsorship that the person is taking charge of. So over back here also, it says that means of support. Now, the means of support means that how are you going to cater for yourself. So if you have cash, you can take cash. If you have credit card also, you can select that one. It's as simple as that. Okay. Now, the next thing is I'm aware that the visa fee is not refundable if the visa is refused. And also, it says that applicable in case a multiple entry visa is applied for. I'm aware of the need to have an adequate travel medical insurance for my first day and any subsequent visits to the territory of the Schengen member zone. So over here, you are giving your consent to all these informations. Since every jurisdiction or country have their laid down rules and regulations, so this is something that we are. It's like an oath that we are swearing to comply with all this information that they will be needing. So let's come to the final part of it. It says that I'm aware of and consent to the following: the collection of data required by this application form and the taking of my photograph, and if applicable, the taking of fingerprint are mandatory for the examination of the visa application. And any personal data concerning me which appear on the visa application form, as well as my fingerprints and my photograph, will be supplied to the relevant authorities of the member states and processed by those authorities for the purpose of a decision on my visa application. Right. So you are giving your consent that all the information that you're giving them, once any relevant authority demands for it from the member state of the Schengen enclave, they are going to release it to them, and then you are giving consent that they can proceed with it should there be a need of such occurrence. Okay. Now, check data as well as data concerning the decision taken on my application or a decision whether to annul, revoke, or extend a visa issued will be entered into and stored in the visa information system for a maximum period of 5 years, during which it will be accessible to the visa authorities and the authorities competent for carrying out check on visas at external borders and within the member states. Immigration and asylum authorities in the member state for the purpose of verifying whether the condition for the legal entry into, stay, and residence on the territory of the member state are fulfilled, of identifying persons who do not or whom no longer fulfill the condition, of examine an asylum application, and of determine blah 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 blah. So this is as simple as that. You take your time and then you read it. You will be able to understand all that they are saying. So once you are done, then you provide today's date, the date on which you completed this form, and then place where you completed it, and then you come and sign your signature over here. So if you did the application on behalf of a minor who cannot read or write or understand this legal document, then the parent will sign and then on behalf of the child and provide their full name to it. And that's it. You've completed your Spain visa application form filling. So if you found this video very helpful, let us know in the comment section and give us a like. If you think there's something to add to improve the quality of this video, kindly leave it also in the comment section. The channel has been adeja.com. Kindly subscribe and let's increase the following. Also share this video to reach a friend who might need it. See you in our next subsequent video. The channel has been adeja.com as usual. Peace out.